Black Myth Wukong is the upcoming action RPG from Game Science and is heavily inspired by Chinese mythology and the novel Journey to the West. From the trailers and gameplay snippets we've seen, it looks like we'll see a wide variety of enemies and characters. But where do these designs come from? Where do Wukong's transformation powers come from? Is there any lore about the novel we should know in the run-up to the game? Let's take a deeper look at some of the elements of Chinese mythology Black Myth Wukong has used, and where we spotted it in the gameplay trailers. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of it all, Journey to the West is a Chinese novel first published in the 16th century during the Ming Dynasty. It's often been referred to as one of the greatest and most popular literary works in East Asia. The novel is an extended account of the pilgrimage of a monk, Xuanzang, who travelled to the western regions to obtain sacred Buddhist texts, also known as Buddhist sutras. One of the main characters in the novel is Sun Wukong, or the Monkey King. This is potentially the main character of Black Myth Wukong. You know, being a monkey and all, and the whole connection with the name Wukong makes it seem pretty obvious. However, there is speculation that this is actually a clone of the real Sun Wukong. We'll put a pin in that for now though. All we know is that we are playing as a monkey called Wukong, or the Destined One. In the novel, the Monkey King is born from a stone and received supernatural powers through Taoist practices. He also carries the Ri Gingubang, or basically a magic staff, which when not in use, he shrinks to the size of a needle and keeps in his ear. We clearly saw this in the trailer for the game. In the novel, Sun Wukong rises amongst the ranks of the monkeys to become their king, but becomes fearful of death and decides to journey to find immortality. The heavens decide to appease Wukong by making him a stable boy, to which he complains so much that he ends up being a guard for the Immortality Peach Garden. The Monkey King greedily ate the peaches, got his immortality, and then did a full-blown Kratos and started a war with heaven. He defeated an army of 100,000 celestial troops led by the 4 heavenly kings. Sun Wukong eventually pays the price and has a massive mountain dropped on his head and is kept there for 500 years. He only manages to escape when he joins another character from the novel, Tang Sang Zhang, who accepts him as a disciple. An interesting tidbit that Black Myth Wukong appears to have placed in the game is Wukong's circlet that he's been seen wearing in the trailers. Although it looks like a cool piece of armour, this actually links back to the story, as Sun Wukong's behaviour is checked by this circlet which was placed on his head by Guan Yin, a bodhisattva. He cannot take this band off until his journey is complete. It's nice to see seemingly meaningless character design actually have lore behind it. Will this lore be mentioned in the game? Is Guan Yin going to be a character? Is this actually the circlet from the book, or are we just reading too much into this? We're not sure, but either way, it's a cool reference. In the novel, Sun Wukong can use his powers to turn into 72 different polymorphic transformations, such as different animals and objects. Reports suggest that in the game we'll be able to have 72 special abilities to enhance combat. In our hands-on preview of the game at Summer Game Fest, we saw Wukong's hair turn into incense, and we also saw him turn into a fly and a peach, so we definitely know there will be some transformational abilities. We also saw in the trailers that Wukong is able to create clones of himself by pulling his hair, which is mentioned in the novel. This is what has people believing we might be playing a clone, as in the novel the real Sun Wukong has golden armour, but from what we've seen so far, the Destined One doesn't have that. Is this a long shot? Maybe? We'll only find out when the game is released. If any more of these abilities are directly linking back to the novel, we might end up seeing things like astral projection, pyrokinesis, cloud flying, the ability to grow into a giant, the ability to see through illusions, lock-breaking spells, and protective wards. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. He may very well be the most OP character in video gaming if he has all of these abilities. But that's enough about Wukong himself. What about the enemies and other characters we saw in gameplay and trailers? Firstly, we have this guy seen in some gameplay footage. This character is rumoured to be called Kang Jinlong, or Gullet the Gold Dragon. They are a Long, or a Chinese dragon, and are one of the many bosses we'll be facing soon. This character was featured in chapter 65 of Journey to the West. We won't be telling you how the battle went in the book, but it's another nice nod to the novel. We also saw 2 characters who apparently have very similar roles. Gong is a small humanoid character and also the bird with the red face. They are guardians of the soil and ground and also a sort of Chinese deity to a specific location. Does this mean we'll be getting more than one Gong depending on where we are in the map? Maybe different ones for different terrain types? At the end of the official release date trailer, we see the Destined One facing 4 large figures. It's not confirmed who or what these are, but the best guess we have is they are the 4 Heavenly Kings. Each king represents a direction: north, east, south, and west. Now, this is entirely speculation, so take this with a very, very, very big pinch of salt. But what if the map was split in such a way that at the end of each environment we fight a Heavenly King? Maybe we are going full-blown Kratos mode in this game. Sadly, we don't know a lot of the confirmed enemies, their names, or what they do, so we can only speculate. But so far, Black Myth Wukong seems a little more than inspired by Journey to the West. It seems like it might be a full-blown retelling. But what do you think? Are you excited to see the mythology in this game? We personally can't wait to see more of it when it launches on August 20th on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S.